Well, I hope you're doing well. Today's video is going to be a video on perfume perspective. I know that some of you might have come on here because you can see certain perfumes here, and these perfumes kind of just are the more popular ones amongst my collection. And so, yeah, I wanted to speak about perfume perspective because sometimes people can perceive perfumes in a different way compared to others. Sometimes with this, certain notes can invoke certain memories, or it really does unlock the mind because your ability to smell is such a powerful one that invokes a lot of memories, emotion. It is tied directly to the brain, and it is one of your strong senses. So, having to do or having to enjoy perfume as a hobby and buying them and smelling all these scents, it's such a powerful tool to unlock certain memories or take you back to certain memories or remind you of a certain someone. There's a lot of girls, for example, that say, that perfume reminds me of my ex, and then they feel bitter towards it. That invokes an emotion and invokes a memory of someone that they used to care about or used to love or maybe used to hate. Sometimes certain perfumes might smell different to others because of that memory being unlocked, or that person that they used to know or they do currently know being there and being present in that perfume. So I know that this isn't really spoken about a lot on YouTube or ever. So I thought I'd just bring up a video that helps, maybe helps build your understanding before you buy perfumes, because I am a channel that really does enjoy putting things into perspective and making you understand that you don't have to buy a £200 perfume. You could just get a sample of it and it can develop. And perfumes, when they mature, they develop into a little bit of a different smell. Like the other day, I had went back to Sugar Leather, and a month later, when I went back to it, it just smelled like a gourmand, and in the beginning it didn't smell like that. So when perfumes also develop, they do unlock a different type of part of your brain. It's very bizarre, I know, but hear me out. So yeah, for example, with For Your Love by Maison Serre, this one was one that I did not enjoy in the beginning. I left it to mature for a couple of months, and my goodness, right now I absolutely enjoy this perfume. I get compliments on this perfume. It's such a great one. And I also put a short up saying, like, this is I suppose, the sexy Bond girl perfume. Like, yeah, Mrs. Bond, a sexy Mrs. Bond right here. So yeah, with these perfumes, we can only tell you as influencers, I suppose, if you'd like to call it that, because we do influence your decisions. So, we can only tell you so much, but really, I suppose that the best solution here would be to buy a generous sample, keep it, and then see how it develops. Use it every now and again, see if you enjoy the notes and if it triggers a certain memory or not. Because some people just blind buy perfumes, and it could be super expensive. It could be £200 perfumes. It could be more than that now, because the prices of perfumes have gotten way too out of hand, and there's no regulating body that kind of says, enough is enough. So yes, here we are stuck in this interesting world of wanting to enjoy perfumes, but just having more of a boundary that sometimes you don't want to cross, or you just can't afford to cross. I feel like with perfumes, it should be available to so many people, and it really does invoke a sensational feeling inside of you, because when you really get into it, it's kind of tough to get out of it. Many people have said, the YouTube community, it is quite toxic, and I, to be honest, kind of agree with that. It depends on who you watch, and depends on how they word things in their video, because words are very powerful. Another one of those things, your ears listen to these things, because if you like what you hear, you buy. But then when it comes to actually buying these perfumes and smelling it yourself, and then you perceive it in a certain way, what you hear in a certain way, and then what you smell in a certain way, it's two very different things, two very different sensors, I suppose. So yes, I just wanted to come on here and really give you something to think about. You know, when an influencer talks about, for example, Ivory Root, you know, it's this and that and this and that. It sounds incredible to you, doesn't it? But maybe it might be worth to buy a sample, because you might actually not enjoy this perfume as someone else, because it invokes a certain type of memory for them. It unlocks, you know, that I the image in their head. It's going to be very different to yours. You know, sometimes it might be the same, it might be a coincidence that it's the same, but you know, a Vanille Fatale, incredibly sickening gourmand, but during winter it could be such a nice one. That's why it comes out during the winter, and it cuts through the cold weather. You know, this one, from some people's perspectives, could be incredibly gourmand for the winter, but for me it's somewhat, this one unlocks a memory for me. So it's a really bizarre one. This one has a lot of notes and it does unlock a memory for me. Not one that I use often, but it's here for a reason. I've put up a video on perfumes that I have that basically invoke memories or mean something to me, but I don't use, but I won't sell, you know? So I suppose we might have one or two perfumes that we have that do that, but yes. Scent is such a strong thing, but also perfume perception is also a strong thing. So do be mindful of where you put your cash. You know, these are brands that are trying, end of the day, to make a living out of doing this. So, you know, I may never get PR from these brands ever. You know, it's not something that bothers me, but I do want the truth to be out there about these brands and stuff, and for you to be more cautious when spending your hard-earned cash. And I talk about this in a lot of my videos. You know, you need to really think about, is it worth spending, I don't know, £300 on a perfume that's only gonna last me, you know, yeah, a couple of years, then it might go bad and might smell off in a month or two, or even a year or a year and a half. You know, be mindful with your purchases. I know I sound like such a parent at the moment, but perfume perception is a real thing. You get influenced by what you hear and how people perceive the perfumes, these influencers, and then all of a sudden you feel like, okay, this is going to be great. I'm going to blind buy a full bottle. Would you even do that with, I don't know, something you're not convinced of fully when you see it on a menu at a restaurant? Would you just go ahead and buy it? No, you're going to probably go for something more favorable, that's recommended, that maybe you've had a taste of it on someone else's plate. You know, it's just, it's a real thing. So yes, I thought I'd jump on here, do a rambly video. And so yes, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all in my next video. Take care till then. Bye bye.